So there's this word in Yiddish. It's called spilkus. Have you ever heard of spilkus? It took me forever to pronounce that thing when I learned it. Anyway, what does that mean? It's antsy. Antsy. Spilkus means ants in the pants. So guess what? That's our full moon in Virgo, folks. So what is all that? And how are we going to get out of spilkus? We're going to all this anxiety that comes up at a full moon, and it's more perhaps profound on this time around. Why is that? Well, I'll explain everything. Okay, my name's Irlianna. If you're new to the channel, I am the host of StarSound Speaks, StarSoundAstrology.com. And today, in today's video, we're going to talk about this full moon. Exactly, a few things. One is the features of this full moon, what to look for, and also dates that there's a date or two coming up that is going to help a lot with any kind of anxiety that we have. But I'll also give you suggestions for how to navigate this full moon. Good things that will that will help us with this with the full moon energy. And then the houses. Okay, so this full moon occurs on Saturday, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time at 5 degrees of Virgo. So if you are a Virgo sun, this is the full moon of your year, right? This is when things that you have been working on since your birthday come to a peak, come to fruition. And Mercury, the reason why is this full moon a bit more challenging than the average full moon, or certainly full moon in Virgo? Because the ruler of this full moon is Mercury. Mercury rules Virgo and Gemini. So, but the thing is, with this full moon, Mercury is in an opposition to the moon. And so it's not only the domicile ruler, which means it is the one, this is where the moon is housed, in Mercury's house. It's like Mercury, the moon is in like Mercury's Airbnb. So it's feeling all the energies of Mercury. Well, Mercury is not only opposing the moon, it's the domicile, exaltation, and bound ruler. So I know these are technical terms for many folks, but what that means is the moon's in Mercury's house. He's playing by Mercury's rules, and he's getting supported by Mercury. The thing is, Mercury is kind of in difficult shape. This is not an easy week for Mercury. Mercury in Pisces, Mercury is in his exile in the sign of Pisces. This is not where he normally he likes facts, and he likes to be busy, facts and fact checking and especially in Virgo, fact checking, being tidy and organized and counting the beans and running around and making sure everything's perfect, right? If you're a Virgo, you know Virgos, you know how that whole perfection thing. So that's why people get spilkas. It's like, oh God, yeah. Well, the thing is, with this particular moon, because it's in opposition, because it's in exile, it's like, and it, as if to make matters worse, it is actually combust. It's right under the sun, and it's weary. So he's heading into getting a huge, he's like, I need a break. My mind, Mercury, the mind, needs a break. I am overworked. I feel exhausted. I feel weary. I'm thinking too much. I'm confused. My thoughts, and I'm distracted. I get, it's like we're feeling like there's daydreaming and distraction. It's very difficult to like focus, right? And it can bring a crisis. The full moon is where this beautiful Piscean energy of dreams and wish fulfillment and song and pure compassionate love, and it feels, and that's wonderful good stuff. But the shadow side is that what we have to integrate, that is take these beautiful grand visions that come up in Pisces season and then just kind of organize them. By the full moon is like a time where we can bring these ideas and dreams to fruition and get them and just dispel them out like seeds on the wind, to dispel, or say Virgo in the earth, seeds to plant. So, and that's all well and fine, but because Mercury is not quite, he's heading into his Cazimi, it's difficult, right? It's just hard. And so what that means is he's exhausted. He's on his way to meet the sun. Now, the good news is, there is good news. We'll have some relief from this as the full moon wanes a few days after Saturday. It happens to be that the ruler, Mercury, goes into a triple Cazimi. Mercury, Saturn, and the Sun are all going to be together at 9 degrees of Pisces. And so this will give the ruler of this full moon, it's not in time for the full moon, but it will happen. So it's like good stuff is going to come. If we have been feeling overworked and overthinking and trying too hard and trying to make things work, Mercury getting washed and reprogrammed in the fires of the sun is going to help. It'll give us some oomph and some vitality. The vitality of the sun is going to wash and reprogram not only Mercury, but Saturn. Saturn's been working, he's a taskmaster. He's at work too. And so it's just a time when a planet goes into that magical Cazimi, meeting with the king, right? Or meeting with the queen, or in this case, it's like Virgo. Okay, I'm my weary mind, I'm overworked, or I feel very anxiety ridden. And the idea here is that we get reprogrammed in with the sun. We are balancing the beauty of the Pisces season with the discernment of Virgo, and we're attempting at least to make some kind of synthesis. But the way in which the advice I have for you today is have that synthesis be, it has to be just trust. Just trust and let things flow. Our mystical mind is at work. That's the nice thing about Mercury and Pisces. The upside is, hey, you know what? You got great downloads, mystical visions, things that we could write about, fantasy realm or just beautiful etheric other worlds. And so that's a good thing, right? So I would say, with this full moon, yes, you might feel a little challenged. It brings up an emotional crisis, like I'm working too hard, I'm trying too hard, the overbearingness of all of that and trying to make sense of things. But just know that once in a few days, when we have that triple Cazimi, there's going to be a reprogramming. We can reprogram our minds to have blended with Saturn, right? It's like the wise elder who has wisdom and combining and merging with our transcendent mind, the mystical mind. If you think about Mercury and Pisces, and when it's getting washed and reprogrammed with Saturn, it's like, oh, there's a way in which I can make my plans and my goals for long-term, patience, the patience of like working hard and making sacrifices, say, for example, our writing or our art and things that we love and are compassionate and devoted to. And so that melding with Saturn gives us a chance to make it okay and create I would say, beauty. Yeah, that's what comes up, is beauty. And a form for that beauty. Saturn rules boundaries and structure and form. So there's a place in which we're going to find that all the things that we might have felt distracted about, we can actually regain a sense of purpose and a sense of commitment and form to bring these things to fruition. Okay. This, by the way, that Cazimi is going to be when they're all at 9 degrees. The Sun and Mercury are first going to pair up. It'll be like Tuesday, February 27th, late in the day, Eastern time. And then all three will come into 9 degrees on Wednesday, February 28th. And so that would be exact timing, Eastern Standard Time, 12:33 a.m. to about 1:22 p.m. Eastern Time. That's the window where all three are together. So this is a great time to do meditation, reflection, sweet, quiet reflection about all of that. But like I said, that's the Cazimi and the magical window where we can really, we get the divine a view of our highest purpose and the eternal, the sun representing the eternal self. So this is a really beautiful time to be meditating and reflecting, maybe dream journaling, watch your dreams for sure. They always bring, when Mercury's in Pisces, I had a really amazing dream this morning. So keeping a journal by your bedside is always good if you're into journaling. But even if you're not, it's a great place to sort things out, especially with the full moon in Virgo. And so who can we be? What does it take to move through this full moon and realize its potential? What it's really wanting to seed with us is a sense of trust and trust in the flow of life. Trust that things are going to work out, even if you might be weary, if your mind might be over anxiety ridden, and weary, just trust and know that things will always work out, even though it doesn't, maybe on the surface, it may not look like that in the surface mind. But don't surface view things during this time period. Really go deeper into a deeper level of reality. That will definitely help you. The other thing I want to say is to go in nature, for sure. This is the full moon in Virgo. Virgo is about the earth. It's mutable earth. It's the goddess of agriculture. Fertility in agriculture is very Virgoan. The person, the Mother Earth who serves all and wants nothing from us but just to help us. Right. So I would say being in nature, grounding, being really grounded, taking your shoes off, even though, yeah, it's February. It's like, it's cold in the Northern Hemisphere. It's freezing up here. Even if it's for 1 minute, take your shoes off and, dysregulate that nervous system, right? That overworked nervous system. Taking a quick cold shower will do that, but putting your feet on the earth, even if it's just for a few minutes, or even if you have socks on, you got some, just cotton socks, feel that earth, the electromagnetic pulse, let that nourish you. Go in nature. I would say volunteer work is always a good thing to do, especially when the full moon in Virgo. Volunteer, maybe with Jupiter being the ruler, the traditional ruler of Pisces, and Jupiter's in Taurus. So there's another Taurus connection, Earth, perhaps maybe working at a food co-op or a food pantry or a homeless shelter or some kind of humble service would take the anxiety and the edge off. And it gives us a whole new dimension of things. You might want to tutor. Maybe somebody needs help with reading, Mercury, Virgo. You could help somebody with reading and inspire them, as to what's available when they learn to read, and giving them that source of inspiration and courage. Singing and chanting is always great. If you got an exiled Mercury and Pisces, man, get those Jayu Tal albums out, or Deva Premal, or whoever your favorite kirtan artist is, Krishna Das, whomever, right? Chanting to still the mind and to purify. So we don't have to wait till the Cazimi, right? And on February 28th, and so we can do it now. So chanting and singing, clearing the mind and connecting with our higher purpose. So yay. So then I would say too, all right, so the crisis is to let go and be in the flow. So I'm going to finish this little chat by saying where is this going to be taking place according to your houses. So Aries, if you have Aries rising, this full moon is occurring in your 6th house, which is the joy of Mars, where, where we felt like work can be a struggle, or trying to get the details can feel like a struggle, and where we feel maybe enslaved, and just finding that difficulty. So the idea being let go in the flow with coworkers, with your place of work, around the things that, the 6th house is like the things you got to do, and maybe you don't want to do, but you just got to do. So the routine of work and your service, your place of service. Taurus rising, 5th house is going to be around your creative projects, right? Don't be so critical. Don't try the striving for perfection. It's like, just relax and enjoy yourself, enjoy your creative projects, enjoy your children, enjoy joy, Gemini rising, you've got it in your 4th house. So this full moon is asking you with home and family life, boundaries and no boundaries, and being compassionate and just trusting the flow of things happening in your home and family life. 3rd house is the Cancer rising. So that would be around your neighbors, your cousins, relatives, communications and all. Again, this quest for perfection and just saying, chill time. I've got this, I'm going to tune into my higher mind and move through this. The Leo rising, this is in your second house. So where you'll feel this crisis to let go and be in the flow would be around your personal finances, your talents, your skills, the things that are important to you. For Virgo rising, it is in your first house. And so that's the house of image, self-image, your physical body. So maybe doing a detox, maybe eating nourishing, healthy food would certainly be a way to, certainly for you Virgo risings, to negotiate this. Libra is a 12th house, which is the house of self-sabotage. So there's a breakthrough here if we can just stop haunting ourselves about how things have to be. What's that? One of my favorite sayings, good, done. Done is better than, no, what is it? Done is better than perfect? Is that how, yeah, I think that's what it is. Done is better than perfect. So just do it and don't worry. Don't just stop worrying about the details. Put your feet in the mud and do not worry. Scorpio rising, 11th house. So that's about your friends, some crisis that leads to completion. So you're looking at who your friends are. Maybe you've been too critical and discerning of friends and supporters. And it's about balancing and finding peace and trust around topics of friends and colleagues and professional colleagues and groups and group organizations. You've got Cap rising is your 9th house, and that will be so Cap rising, 9th house is spirituality and travel and spiritual esoteric wisdom, just finding there's some discernment that we're feeling like we're kind of lost at sea about all these things, but just trusting again the flow and developing that mystical mind around mystical matters. Aquarius rising, 8th house. So that's a house of finances and debts. It's not just, money debts like wills and estates and credit card debt and other people's money, but it's also like on a spiritual level, the debts that we owe people and that people owe us. So there may feel some frustration around those areas. And again, trusting and being in the flow regarding that area of your life. And then 7th house, Pisces rising, it's going to be occurring in your 7th house, which is of your long-term committed relationships, be they marriage or partnerships or business partnerships, people that we collaborate with. That is where we're going to find that crisis meeting opportunity to let go, be in the flow, and just know that Cazimi is going to really help out. We'll be able to start seeing things differently and being able for the rest of the month as we slide out from full moon, as the moon starts to disseminate, it's that time of completion, and we'll have that newfound sense of purpose and a more compassionate mind and being able to get things done and not necessarily having to be so logical. So anyway, okay, guys, well, that's all for today, and I hope you've enjoyed this. Please do like, share, subscribe if you haven't, and we love hearing from you. So there goes my bell. Ooh, I got a client. All right, I got to run. Love you all, big time, big time. And I'll see you soon. This is Irlianna Samsara, StarSound Speaks, StarSoundastrology.com. Thank you for listening. Namaste.